a spot opened up just across from the splash pad. This building. It used to be, does anybody know what that used to be? All right. Dragonfly Restaurant, right. Talked to the owner. He's having a hard time. One restaurant after another's coming in there and coming out. And so we're talking to him other possibilities. Now, on its one, as is, it's a great spot for a restaurant. You could just imagine more happening. You get up top, that building, you could see the mountains, right? What Sue is illustrating here is all of the interesting things that could happen. It's hard to believe, but that building actually has a second floor. And Sue has added all of the windows of a second floor to the top of it. So that way there could be residents above. So that way these people could keep eyes on the street and make sure that the street stays safe, even at night. A bar above and people on the street. She added a spot for that trolley stop, and she even fit in somehow the trolley. Look at that. The placita, the plaza, the small spaces in between these pedestrian streets, she added a little bit more life to. She added more spots to sit. She liked sandwich boards so that people know what's going on. Plants everywhere. She did tiny vertical gardens and planter boxes. She's making it as green as possible. The plan has to be flexible. Another idea, along the idea of kids, and we just kept hearing, was that a downtown museum, a downtown children's museum could be possible on this spot. And then Sue just went crazy. She stuck a plane for playing on top of. There's a roadrunner. You hardly even see it because she just went so splashy with the pinks and the blues and the turquoise. It says Children's Museum, but it doesn't even need that sign with all this fun stuff to announce what this is. This is another possibility for you to consider. Your downtown is understated with the sienna browns and the light umbers and the sand colors, and that is cool and nice and decorous and tasteful. But every once in a while you can get big with splashy color and craziness, and a kids museum would be a wonderful spot to do that. Now, multiple locations have been talked about for the kids museum, okay? The plan needs to identify all the different spots. And when we go through the pros and the cons and what's available and what is inexpensive and what's more expensive, this site has pros and cons. But those of us that are big fans of the downtown get excited about the idea of a kids museum right across from that splash pad in your downtown. Or another thing that people have been talking about is a children's library. A children's library is different. So that's not a museum that people go to. That's really a reading room with kids' books. Bookstores are having a hard time, but they're not having a hard time when it comes to kids' books. Kids' books still sell right off the shelves. There's also a spot for reading. Potentially even a lot of kids' libraries have become a spot for daycare facilities. We've heard a lot about a need for daycare in the downtown. So yeah, it could be anything. You see what we didn't do. We kept the great building that's up to the street intact. And we kept, of course, the plaza intact. You don't want to lose any public space, and you want to keep great buildings great.